Hey, Xcrawl fans! Welcome to Xcrawl Chat. Xcrawl Chat. This is the first, and I don't know how many we're gonna do with this, but I'm the Lich. I'm one half of the team that's on Xcrawl Live. Hopefully the music isn't too loud for you. It's a little loud for me, but I'm gonna turn it down bad. You guys let me know. Messenger Azam's in the chat. Hey, buddy. Hey, welcome. Thanks everybody for showing up. Check it out. The other half of the team, DM THACO, is going to be along shortly. We plan on talking. It was too bug, but can't hear it now. Really? The music? Oh, because the music was the. Yeah. Oh, can you guys hear the music? Because I do want to have it in the background. Turn it down even lower. No music? Oh. How about now? Music now? Okay, like I said, I'm the Lich. I'm one half of the team that's currently working on Xcrawl Live. DM THACO will be here shortly. We plan on talking about community building tonight because we want to build a community of teams for Xcrawl Live. A possible campaign mode. We'd love to get your input and input from chat on something like that. The teams we already have, and then if there's any, I have a copy of the rules. I signed a non-disclosure to have them. There's nothing that says I can't answer a few questions if you have them. But one thing I want to do before DM THACO gets here is it's okay. Well, I'm not really missing the music unless you guys are missing the music. I wonder why. Oh wait, hold on. No, my soundtrack is going. I mean, in all reality, you should be hearing the music. We just got it hooked up so that we can have music on Goodman games, so it's nice to be able to do it. There. All right, so before THACO gets here, I just want to dive into one of the newer classes for Xcrawl Classics. And it's especially one that's going to be played, one of our, right on, Implored 66, welcome. So, one of the new classes for Xcrawl Classics is the Elf Trickster. Well, actually, let me back up. There's something called a Specialist. Imagine a multi-classed rogue, and there's a bunch of different specializations that you can take to be being a specialist. And one of those is everything from a dwarf mechanic, crypt raider, a scout. And a lot of these are featured in the beta. Some of them are featured in the beta rules, which you can get on goodmangames.com right now for free. But there's also the Elf Trickster, which I thought was a pretty cool class. So I just want to talk about that really quick before I give DM THACO some time to get here. I'm going to read you the write-up for Tricksters because I kind of like it. The Elf Trickster. You decided that the lifelong dedication that most elves give to the art and craft of your magic sounded amazingly dull. You like the idea of casting spells, but all that study? I mean, being in the service of some outworld taskmaster that wants you to put a mark on your face? Being in the service of some outworld taskmaster that wants to put a mark on your face? Like, right on your face? Not so much. But you were always stealthy and good with locks. You managed to kind of sort of borrow a spell book from a guy you knew at university. You saw somebody cast cantrip on TV once. That fool just mumbled some nonsense and waggled his fingers. How hard can magic actually be? So Elf Tricksters are stealthy spellcasters, prized in Xcrawl for their ability to sow confusion and chaos among foes. I love the idea that you're like an elf slacker who is like, I could do magic. I don't do all this studying. What kind of nerd reads these spell books? They can only be chaotic. They are casters, but they specific. Okay, so they learn cantrip right off the bat, and cantrip in Dungeon Crawl Classics is well. Let's pop up cantrip right now. If you're not familiar with Dungeon Crawl Classics, you can get that on goodmangames.com as well. This Xcrawl Classics is built off Dungeon Crawl Classics. It's going to share a lot of the same things. 130. Bringing up cantrip, because cantrip seems to be different in every system. Cantrips are different in every system. They're different between D&D. Alright, so cantrips in Dungeon Crawl Classics, you create a simple kinetic effect, like shove a mug off a table, tear the buttons off a dress. You can actually do enough, if you roll high enough, you can do a little bit of damage as well. But for the Elvish Tricksters, the reason why I want to go into this, the Elf Trickster, is that you can actually make cantrip pick locks for you. Pick locks, disarm traps, pick pockets, and others. All you gotta do is you gotta roll 18 or better in order to do it. So that's one thing that I think is kind of cool. THACO has... Oh, wait. Yes. THACO played a specialist in... He played the criminal specialist in our first Xcrawl, I'll say season, our first game, which was in Detroit. Please, Xcrawl, don't hurt him. And the criminal specialist... So, specialists all have the same abilities. That chart for a thief with, finding traps and all the different things. All the specialists have that chart and can do all those to different varying degrees. But then they have something special on top. The criminal specialist can forge documents. He's like more... The criminal specialist is more for outside the game. They have underworld contacts. They can get things done. They might be able to smuggle something into the game. Things like that. They're more focused on the meta control of the game, like forging documents and stuff. I say meta from an in-game perspective, right? Meta outside of the Xcrawl game, dealing with your agents and getting into the games and that kind of thing. So back to Trickster. Let's see. So the game levels, usually learning new spells by nefarious means. Here's the thing though. They cannot spell burn because they lack the deep training that they kind of eschew. Elves, just like Dungeon Crawl Classics, they can't. They're sensitive to iron. Nothing else. But what's his mojo trick? So Elf Tricksters gain 1 to 3 mojo points for the successful implementation of battlefield tricks that successfully dupe, delay, divide, or neutralize opponents. The sweeter the trick, the more heightened the enemy's advantage, the more they earn. Oh, hey, Dragons in the Dining Room. Thank you for the... Wait, what just happened? Thank you for the raid. Let me see if I can grab him. Join me in the Discord. Welcome, Dragons in the Dining Room and DM THACO. They'll be joining me shortly. Let's see, what else can we say about the Trickster? That's about it. I wanted to focus on it because it's a new class. It's new to Xcrawl. It's new to Xcrawl Classics, and I think it'd be really fun to play one. And someone said actually the next team that is going into Anaheim in a week from Thursday is going to feature an Elf Trickster. So make sure you come on by for that Thursday to check out how it gets played. It will be played by a newer player, so which is exciting to me because newer players usually bring newer ideas, right? All right, let's see. Where are you at? THACO. There we go. I'll pull you in here. Hey, buddy.
Hey there, how's it going?
Good. Let me do two things. I'm gonna turn you up, and then let's grab you. All right, everybody, just give me a quick moment while I grab. Let's pop out.
I should be good.
He's gonna take over the whole screen. You wanna just give me the if you give me the green screen, I'll be able to get you into the huge. Oh, there we go. Oh yeah, there you go. Perfect. Never mind.
Hello out there in chat land. How are you all doing tonight? I am the giant. It's the only time I feel big in my life.
On stream.
On stream, right?
Yeah. Giant THACO. So I was just
welcome to the Ojo.
While I was waiting for you, I just kind of did a little dive into the Elf Trickster. The Chill Out Corner is going to play the Elf Trickster in the next the game in a week from Thursday. And I thought it was a pretty cool class. I'd like to try it out sometime.
The Tricksters looks like a really fun class. I haven't had the chance to dig too much into that, but I really enjoy the classes that are in Xcrawl.
Yeah.
They're a really good take.
Absolutely. I'm looking forward to all of them. You know what's funny, and I'll say this, is everyone's drawn to the Dwarven mechanic. I have yet to meet a team that doesn't have at least one person that wants to play the Dwarven mechanic.
Yep.
I almost feel like it'd be awesome to have just a little bit more to that class. Just a tiny bit more. But, I mean, hey, if it grabs them right away anyway.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Hold on. Cthulhu calls me. He's asking. I don't really get the specials. So think of the specialist is like a category class. So the specialists, you pick a specialist because it has all specialists share the same skills that a thief has in Dungeon Crawl Classics. That category though, there are items. There's not categories, classes within that category that allow you to basically think about this. It's thief multi-classes, right? When you say THACO?
Yep. And each of the specialists' specialities give you a different perk that you can play around with.
Yeah, so just to give you an idea of all that, there's, like I just said, the Elf Trickster. So the Elf is their Trickster. He's a little bit of a spellcaster, a little limited, but he has all the same skills as a thief. You have, oh wait, I had the doc. Oh jeez, I had the whole thing. The Dwarven Mechanic is a specialist. He's a dwarf. He's a little bit hardier. He's a hardier thief. He specializes a little bit more in finding traps and disarming them. You have Half-Orc Slayer, which is basically a half-orc with thief abilities and a punch-up and backstab. Like, they're really good at backstabbing. They actually get a bonus. They get the weapon damage is increased by 1 die when they for a successful backstab. There's the Crypt Raider, who is super specific. A Crypt Raider is the kind of guy that goes into that goes into dungeons specifically to root out and kill all undead. And so they've got a turn ability like a cleric. And
wasn't Nintendo playing that one?
She was going to, but then she ended up switching to messenger because we didn't have a healer, or they didn't have a healer.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, it was our first pick actually. Specialists are cool. I was gonna pull up the actual doc.
I really enjoyed playing the specialist when I was doing Lucky Luke. It is very much a rogue class, but the idea that each specialist has their own nuance, it is really cool in giving them flavor. So you don't necessarily have the same specialist. Even if you have 2 of them in the game, you can have 2 completely different styles of play.
Yeah. Yep. I think though, if I was going to get into Brendan's head in designing that class, because I think it's new. I'm pretty sure the specialist is brand new to Xcrawl Classics, to Xcrawl period, because Xcrawl's gone through many different there's a Pathfinder set, rule set. There was an old DCC rule set, but anyway, I think the idea is finding traps. The thief abilities are so integral, are so needed in the games, right? Because traps are such an integral part, other than monsters, right? Traps, locked doors, things like that. That instead of saying, okay, you always got to have a thief on the team, well, this kind of opens it up to where, you can have somebody with thief abilities that can take care of that locked door, but they also have something else cool that can give them a different play style. That you're not so pigeonholed.
Yeah, exactly. And you pretty much nailed it on the head there. Traps, secret passages, and finding those clues. You need them for DCC. Otherwise, you are going to find yourself stuck so many times.
Yeah. Yeah. So, all right, THACO. So we got together because me and THACO were going to we're the showrunners for Xcrawl Live, and we were going to get together to talk about. THACO had to take a break for a little while for the next 2 episodes, and so when we get back in February together, we want to talk about the future of the show. So we're going to get together to do that, and we decided since we both had the night off and there was nothing on Goodman Games that we'd get on here and do it live and maybe get some input from you guys, which would be awesome, super awesome. But then it seems like a fun thing to do on stream. So I wrote down, THACO, some things, topics for us to hit on. First up, we'll go ahead. You got something too?
Loxy had a few questions she was asking when I mentioned I was going to be doing this chat. So I got a couple of questions that she threw at me. If I don't cover them, I'll bring them up.
Okay, right on. So, no, the Kickstarter's not out yet, and I can't get an answer on when exactly it's going to be. But here's the thing, guys. Here's my thinking. If the market shows that everybody wants an Xcrawl Classics Kickstarter, I think it's pretty hard to ignore that, especially if it's hard to ignore. So us doing this show, you guys wanting Xcrawl Classics to come out on Kickstarter and being vocal about it is going to help. So if you're not in the the Goodman Games Discord, get in there and speak up in the Xcrawl channel. There's only one Xcrawl channel right now, and that's actually a good segue into the first thing I wanted to talk about. The Goodman Games Discord is in the About Us below us right now. There's a link to the Discord right below the live schedule. So I got in touch with the gentleman who runs the Discord, THACO, and I've been talking about. I was suggesting 3 channels to add to their Discord. One for a showcase for the teams, and we need a good name for it because I first said Xcrawl Teams, and I'm not sure if that's right. But the idea is this is a channel where you see the teams that are already made and have participated, and maybe a couple of their feats and cool things that they've done.
Right.
And all the things that they've been. So that'd be a place for me as somebody who has never played or participated, go in and see the people who have and the teams that are, like right now, I would put the Coalition of Chaos. That's the last team that played in the Anaheim crawl from this last Thursday.
Right.
And so that you aren't in there. You're not in this channel. You're not listed in it unless you've been on a team, you're a team, and you've participated. I thought if
I'm understanding correctly, this is more of a highlight location. So
yeah.
Highlights of previous games. So why not just give it that title?
Xcrawl
Highlights.
Highlights. I like highlights.
Or MVP actions.
But the thing is, what I figured is once you have a team and you've gone into an event and you come out, whether even if it's just the first one, that's when your team goes in there. We list out the team members, maybe list some important stats, cool things about them, and then that you're in there. So you're in the list of Xcrawl teams that have past contestants. Ooh, that's getting closer to what I was thinking. I think I'm gonna. But I don't want to sound like it's like they're past. I don't know. Just sounds like
I know. Chris came up with another one. Xcrawl Survivors.
Xcrawl Survivors.
I kind of like that one because, you know, the big thing about Xcrawl's theme is it is dangerous, it is deadly.
Xcrawl Survivors. Oh, okay. You know what? Why am I looking to write things down when I could just okay? Xcrawl Survivors. Right on.
Chill Out had another one. X Crawlers.
Well, they're not X though. That's not the thing. Like we're gonna add to it. You know what I mean?
They're going to be and they'll be coming back.
Right. Right.
So your team doesn't stop after the first show. If your team did not completely get annihilated in a dungeon, you have a chance to come back, play another game. Plus, we have something that I'm not sure if you're going to bring this up later, but we also have something that we're looking at, which is the Xcrawl All Stars. The Xcrawlers who have the most fame and the most popularity will all come back together as a team potentially and do something.
All right. One, I really like active teams. I really like that because that just tells you right away that these are the people who are playing and the people you might be playing in tournaments against and that kind of thing. Although I like that. I like Xcrawl Survivors. It's kind of tongue in cheek. But you know what? What if it is Xcrawl All Stars? Because can't we all just be all the teams are. You know what I mean? I mean there could be a special All Star kind of current competitors, current teams, Xcrawl current teams.
Xcrawl All Stars works out too because it just gives you that panache.
Right.
I gotta change something here. I'm gonna mess up your overlay real quick. Sorry about this.
Well, it wouldn't be a stream without that messing up. So.
Yeah, I'm noticing that there's a video artifacting going on Goodman. So give me 1 sec here.
Broken out by division, current competitors. Loxy, you like. Oh, I thought you were pointing up to that comment. Hi, Loxy. Hello, Dungeon Master. Broken out by division.
I'm back again.
Ooh, the Xcrawl League. Why? That's duh. Shouldn't that be what it is? Xcrawl League.
Yeah. We were overthinking it way too much.
Yeah, that's exactly.
Look at that Balfrin on top of it.
That's exactly what it is. The Xcrawl League, and then once you make a team, that's when you get listed in the league. You don't get listed in the league unless you're on a team. Okay, so that's channel number 1 is Xcrawl League, and that's where you're going to see all the teams and what they've accomplished. The second one is Xcrawl, I was saying recruitment or team building, and that's where you raise your hand and say, hey, I want to participate. I want to build a team. I'm looking to build a team, or I'm looking to join a team. And then hopefully, like the idea is that it kind of organically happens in there. People say, hey, all right, well, we got this team. Hey, let's do this and call ourselves whatever.
It's not so much tryouts and auditions, Cthulhu, because the very first game you play is technically your audition.
Yeah.
So, a good idea, but not quite what this channel is for. I would literally just call it the recruitment page.
That's what I was getting at too. We're going back and forth on whether or not it should be recruitment or team building. Recruitment suggests that somebody's actively who's scouting and recruiting people, whereas team building, it might be a better way of saying it because that suggests that you might have more of a hand in it. You're going to be building your team.
Okay.
I'm playing devil's advocate with my own because I had started off recruitment, and the gentleman that I'm talking to at Goodman Games is going back and forth between team building and recruitment connections.
There's a fair point in there because recruitment does sound like you're not 100% in control of what's happening. So
right.
I do get where that's coming from. So Yeah, I mean, you could do team building. I can't think of a cleaner way of saying it. Xcrawl connections.
It might that just a little might be too vague. Like we don't know exactly what that means.
Yep.
The Wasteland
I'm
League.
having a hard.
Hey, Balford. Hey, Father Jay. What's up, buddies?
We have a good turnout. Welcome everybody, and thank you for joining us on our first impromptu chat.
Yep, absolutely. Okay.
Xcrawl LFG.
Get you there. So, Xcrawl formations. I think team building gets it across. I think we could nitpick it, but I don't think that's necessarily a wrong thing. You know what I mean? If I saw Xcrawl League and Xcrawl League and Xcrawl team building, and then the third one is Xcrawl live events sign up. Events sign up. And my thought is that category is for us to post, hey, we want to, DJ Rust is going to do the Louisiana Rising crawl. Here are the dates, here are the times, what teams want to sign up. And if you have a team, that's where you go, hey, Coalition of Chaos signs up for this. Or we say, we got a mini tournament coming up, what teams want to sign up? And that's for you to put your team name in.
Right, so everybody throws their name in the hat.
Right.
Yeah, that works out perfect.
And then the thought is the fourth one we would wait on a little bit on, but the fourth one would be Xcrawl community event sign up, where I, as the Lich, maybe I want to throw an Xcrawl on my channel, and I want to see if any teams from the Xcrawl League want to play in that. And so I'd put my event up. Hey, I'm running this Xcrawl on the Liching Hour. Who wants to sign up?
Now, would that also be open? And I'm asking, as the voice of chat here, would that also be open to, let's say, Chris wanted to run an Xcrawl game? Would he be able to step in as a DJ then?
Well, that's what I mean. So Xcrawl community event sign up. I just use me as example, but yes, it'd be all the RPGs wants to run an Xcrawl and wants to see, here's the event, here's the date, time, what team wants to sign up for it.
Perfect.
That's the idea. But I was going to just start with these first three first, and then say,
yep,
we'll build the other one once we have DJs who want to run events. This might be more of a walking before running kind of, situation.
No, and as we're just now starting to get people interested, we've got the two teams that you're running. We've got 5 or 6 people out in the wings because their teams have fractured a little bit. It gives us some time to build up the community and get people involved and interested.
Yeah. Yep. Right. So that's the 3 that I was thinking of the league page, listing out the teams, team building for you to raise your hand and hopefully meet some people and make a team, and 3 for the teams to sign up to events. And then there would be the Xcrawl, just general chat. But was there anything anybody else thinks that something like this because the idea is we want to build a community of teams, players and teams. That are ready to play in events that anybody else can start up on any channel. Xcrawl Live being one of them on Goodman Games, but it could be one of other shows on Goodman Games that people could participate in, and Xcrawls to other people. And the next stage being we take a league of teams and we make it into a league with divisions, and then there's the big games, and we make a, you know what I mean, a Super Bowl and shit like that. But because anybody else think of any other kind of, what else is there anything else that would help build this community?
Yeah, I mean, from what you and I have talked about, those things settle right into what we're looking for. So yeah, chat, is there anything else that you think would be helpful in Discord that we might need to add a channel for? Because by the sounds of it, we'll end up with 5 channels in total. We'll have a general chat.
Yep.
We'll have the Xcrawl League channel. We'll have the team building channel. and then the events.
Chris Balfrin, you're right, but then Chris came through with one that's pretty cool. I did, the Emperor Cup, totally. Match recaps would be fun, and it'd be fun if it was it's less of the DJ. Maybe the DJs can come in and say, "Hey, I remember this from this one, and it was really fun," and then players could go in and write up.
Yeah.
There was a couple things that I put in the initial post for the teams for the Coalition of Chaos. There was a couple cool moments that I wanted to make sure I put in there. Like for example, the Jammer, he was a beatboxer, and the one room is this like steampunk room. This is no spoilers here, but it's a big steampunk kind of room, and there's all this hissing and like steampunky gears and stuff. And so he used that as a backdrop and laid these sick beats over top of it to buff his team. I thought that was really, really cool. So those things are what make Xcrawl really, those little moments. So I think Chris is right on this. I think that would be a cool thing. Maybe it starts out being something we put into the Xcrawl League team things, or screw it. I'll just suggest it. It now.
Because we could very easily toss clips
in
there and have somebody talk about it.
That's great. Recaps, clips, and moments, or what do you call it?
Yeah. I know what you're talking about, and the expressions escape.
Highlights.
There we go. Thank you.
Thanks, Chris. I'm not by default a sports guy. So you know what I mean? So I only know a little bit of the nomenclature that comes along with being a big sports person with like basketball, football, our normie sports.
Yeah, the only sports I know is paintball and martial arts.
Instant replays. Right on. Do you actually watch competitive martial arts? THACO?
That's where I not so much competitive anymore. The UFC type thing, I kind of fell out of favor with that stuff. But I will review national tournaments, Olympic tournaments, things like that, and watch the martial artists like that. That's
cool. I watched Cobra Kai. Does that count? I'm gonna see you at All Valley, man. It's gonna be huge.
That's so what do you think of the new season?
Oh, that's I okay. The fight in the LaRusso's house is a bit absurd because I was like, isn't that like? Didn't that go? Like, I can see the kids, not all of them going to jail after the school fight, but after fighting in their house and breaking in and fighting, don't you think that we should have shut down the whole thing? Like, shouldn't they all be in jail? Like, all the ones that broke in their house to fight?
And the high school fight, yeah.
Hopefully, okay, sorry, everybody, if that's a spoiler for people, sorry. Everybody dies. Just kidding.
Right. Rocks fall, you die.
This is gonna be the biggest All Valley tournament ever. If it's, I'm sure it's gonna be the next season, but it's gonna be crazy.
Yeah. So, but yeah, for me, I watch the tournaments and stuff like that. The only real competitive martial arts I watch anymore is like X2.
Okay.
Because it still holds true to a mixed martial arts as opposed to the fanfare that UFC has gotten. I feel that UFC has lost a lot of the luster.
Oh yeah. It was a shiny new cool thing. I remember when it first started getting big.
Yep. So, yeah.
Chris. Yeah, I mean, I don't think it was too hard to know where they're going with Cobra Kai. You kind of know where they're going, but in the whole, they do a good job of making you love it, knowing it, even if you know it.
Dude, Shinobi, if you wanted to go and work on that project, I would support you and help you all the way. Shinobi mentioned making a fanzine with highlights and stats for the Xcrawl stuff.
That would be super, super cool. That would be super cool.
If you wanted to do that, I would help in any way possible.
Yeah. So, okay, so we've got some great ways for community building. This is a good foundation. I was thinking was thinking that's like on the show, especially Xcrawl Live. This should all these channels should pop up first on Goodman Games. That's where that should be the home, the heart, right? But that's not to say that we don't foster within our own communities, our own channels, because we're streamers with our own communities. We foster those on our own Discords as well.
Yep.
In some way, shape, or form. You know what I mean? Maybe in a... Oh, which leads me to my first thing. So, THACO. Right now, we've got 2 teams that are doing the Anaheim, right? The first level Anaheim. This last Thursday and this coming Thursday. I was wondering, since you're coming back in February, do you want to come back as a player? You want to form a team and come back as a third team to go into Anaheim? Because you haven't seen it.
Yep. And I would love to be on the other side for a little while. With the introduction that we did and me playing Lucky Luke, that was fun. I want to try something completely different this time around and get a little more familiar with the mechanics of it from the player side. So yeah, if I can pull together some players, that would be fantastic.
Yeah. Okay, because I that would be great. I love having 2 teams, but I'd really love to have 3. You know what I mean? Because that's a nice little tourney right there. And the Anaheim Crawl was a 2015 Gen Con tournament, and I hit up Brendan and he gave me the scoring for it. So I have the scoring for it. Where this is all informally and fun. We're not doing hardcore tournaments here. No one's winning anything other than some bragging rights. Maybe as we get more and more official, we get more and more official. But for now, we're a small community. We're having fun. But it would be great to have 3 teams to see how it's going. We've got hardcore. I'm buffing those. Hardcore. Yes, we'll get more hardcore. Let's see. This last one was Coalition of Chaos. We've got. I don't think Chris's team has a name just yet. And then you guys, if you want to see Dragons in the Dining Room put together a team, that'd be awesome. One thing I was thinking is, in the beginning and stuff, there's no reason why you can't be on multiple teams. You know what I mean? Like, if you wanted to be on this team, Team A, Team B, and Team F, why not?
Yeah. The only problem that I see with that one is when we do the All-Stars thing, if you wind up with more than one character as an All-Star, you'll have to figure out which one you're going to keep. Yep,
for sure. Yeah. Well, to figure out a way, I don't want to do that right now. I think we have other cool things to talk about, but it would be cool to think of a way to, like what designates you for All-Star. I guess the fame thing, right? Okay, so that leads me to this next thing. Right now, we've been talking kind of teams and tournaments. I had the thought about campaign mode because talking with the team that played last, and we were talking through the idea of fame, right, and how to use fame outside of the games. And how Brendan had talked about how when he first started playing, he came up with the idea for Xcrawl, started playing it. A lot of the role playing was happening outside of the game too, where it wasn't just in the arena. It was the tour bus. It was dealing with the managers. It was trying to get everybody to notice you, like having everybody notice you at the club, that kind of thing. We're not getting a lot of that kind of stuff yet because we're playing one shot. We're focusing on the arena part of it. Right. So anyway, I thought about the idea of campaign mode, and for teams that are interested in starting like a campaign, we could offer funnels and leveled games. Be like, hey, this is going to be okay. We're going to do the Louisiana Rising one, and it's for career teams. Well, we'll call it career, not campaign. Career teams. And so any teams that have considered themselves career teams can play, and maybe those feature different things outside of the You know what I mean? Different role playing scenes outside of, and that would give DJs who want to put together adventures or scenes that are outside of the Xcrawl, but tied to Xcrawl in that world, give them a chance to kind of play with that. You know what I'm saying? So
I do. I really like that idea. There's a world already created for us with what's been written, and with the fact that we're going to have multiple DJs, in the future we'll have multiple DJs, creating some sort of canon where all of the career teams exist simultaneously and can potentially interact would be really fun to start fleshing out. It reminds me of old conventions where you'd have 2-3 DMs sitting around this huge table of 18 plus players in little pods working in the same game.
Yeah. That's where I was thinking too, because Brendan's created this whole world. Why don't we, why doesn't all these teams exist in this world? But the distinction is, and I don't think you have to say, or we could make it easy and be like, okay, so you made your team. Is your team going to be a career team or a freelance team? And a freelance team means you're going to, as a team, you'll sign up to events. You might get pre-gen characters. That's the difference. You're going to get pre-gen characters. You're going to sign up. One time you might play a 3rd level one. One time you might play an 8th level one. There are 8th level ones. And you can be flexible, right? And you could try out different classes. And then you have your career team, which is you've gone through a funnel. You have your one character, and that's your character on that team, right? And that's a career team. You guys are a team. You might break up. There might be drama. You might go to a different team, but you have that one character. Yep. And you might have 2 versions of the same team of guys and gals that are one's their career because they like it, and then the other one is their freelance. There might be 2 versions. Go ahead.
Balfrin brings up a good point too. You could call the you could call the freelancers jobbers or freelancers. That way you have, because for example, myself, I'm probably not going to have a career team.
Right.
I'll probably end up being a jobber because I'll spend a lot of my time DJing too. So next to my name, if we have a full roster going on, you'll see DM THACO, and then right next to that it'll say jobber.
Right. Yeah.
So people will know that if for example there is a career team out there and they're down a player because that player has some real life hiccup come along, they can pick up a jobber and go, hey, you want to step in on this game?
Well, the jobber, so the difference is the jobber doesn't have a character, really. The jobber, like that team, they get a pre-gen or something to play that specific game. But they're still a team, right?
I'm spitballing an idea here.
Yeah.
So let's say the last crew that the you end up running into Louisiana, and 2 days before Louisiana happens, one of your players says, I'm not going to be able to make it because I got to go head out of state for whatever reason. They're going to be down a player, so you have a couple of days to slap together a pre-gen and grab a jobber to fill in that seat.
Right. Yes. Yep. Anybody who wants to step in, they get a pre-gen, they could play with your team. They're a jobber. Yeah.
So it gives teams that may be down a player for whatever reason the chance to still run and not worry about having to cancel.
What I really like about the system that we're talking about is that, right now there's a little bit of a bottleneck, but that's okay. But right now, because it's just Xcrawl Live, but we can post. It could be up to us. Be like, okay, this Thursday, let's do something for any teams that are a career game. Let's do this. Let's run this one. For the we've got a bunch of career teams that are all first level. Let's do a second level. Let's spend this month doing a second level or another first level so they can level up career game to get these guys kind of up there. And then and then come back the next month and be like, well, we're going to do it for our freelancers. Anybody want to try this high level one? You know, there's a high level Xcrawl. This is a non-career Xcrawl for people to tournaments for you come in and play a pre-gen, but you're still your team and
exhibition.
Yeah, exhibition matches. And then what we want to do is encourage people to do off Xcrawl live DJs to run off Xcrawl live events. Hey, I want to do a career game for, you know, third level people on my channel, and they'll get and what'd be cool is to work with everybody so that you can go, okay, these guys did this, they leveled up, whatever. Now they're career team level 4 or something.
Right. The big thing that the little bit of book work I'm seeing here, though, is to make sure to mark off what crawls they've done.
Yeah, that's what I was hoping the Xcrawl League page would keep track of a team and what they've done.
Yep. So we'll just have to make sure that that book work is taken care of.
Right. It's at first it's just you know, it's a community helping remind us that what's happened. I could see this one day being its own. If we had enough people who wanted to play, this would be its own Discord. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah. With a whole bunch of stats and whatnot for people to look at.
Yeah.
Highlight reels and replays and whatnot.
Totally. All right, so career.
I think you're right, Shinobi. I think they are called free agents. I like having a little title for them, a single word title, because it's easier to remember.
I should ask the Emperor himself what he should run this by him and see what he thinks. He might have a title for it too.
Bunch of slackers is what they are.
Oh, I also like it because another reason I like this kind of the infrastructure that we're building here is it even we can do career, which is kind of campaign, but it's at your own leisure. So we could be like, oh, this month we're going to do, you know, campaign games for anybody who's career teams. Do you want to sign up? Oh yeah, we can do it. Can't do it? Well, you catch it next time around, you know? And hopefully, like I said, if there's other off-Broadway people doing them on their streams, there'll be more opportunities. But it's a lot less of a... the whole DJ thing and having people run different of the games is great because for example, we run D&D campaigns. That's one dungeon master, their campaign. It's probably going to be a set time, weekly, bi-weekly, whatever. You got to come every time. You know what I mean? Where you can play a campaign with multiple different DJs, right? At multiple different times. And it could take you 2 years to play like 5 games, but at least you've leveled up. You know what I mean? You built a little a team up in our world.
Yeah, and it doesn't force you into a strict schedule.
Yeah.
Except for that crawl that you're doing, that's the only schedule you have to fit into.
Right.
Now, here's a thought. You mentioned something here and it triggered a thought. Could we do the different crawls on a rotation? So, for example, January and February, we do Anaheim. March and April, we do Louisiana, etc., etc., etc.
Right.
Do it on a rotation.
And then rotate between career and exhibition tournaments.
Yeah. That way people would have an idea on what's coming up so they can schedule their games accordingly.
For at least for Xcrawl Live.
Yeah.
You know, yeah. I'm totally for it. Because the next thing I want to do tonight, one of the things I want to get done tonight is kind of have us figure out what our schedule is going to be for like the next couple months, maybe even. You know what I mean? There's no reason why we can't. I mean, we're dealing with 2 Thursdays a month. You know what I mean? Right. So wouldn't be that hard for us to go. I kind of like the format we had before was cool. It was very cool. It was, dare I say, we tried to get groundbreaking And I think if we get that opportunity, we grab onto it, we seize on it. When we have the opportunity to have people who are willing to be on camera, dress up, play it up, provide, help produce cool commercials and all that kind of stuff, we grab on, and that's maybe exhibition games. That's cool. But I think our bread and butter, and to build the community, to do the stuff that we're talking about, we should fall back to what we've started to do this month, which is get people on to play right from the community.
Yep.
What do you think?
Well, and I like the format that you had presented when I hopped in on that last game. It doesn't require people to have a setup like we do. If you don't have a camera, cool, you can still play as long as you got a microphone.
Yep. I really like voice only. It wants to go against what's almost kind of traditional for us streamers, because we want to first think we got to get people on screen. But I don't think from the viewer standpoint, let's have chat tell us, does it matter to chat and you guys watching if somebody is on screen, or if you can hear them and you know who they are on the screen, like what I was trying to do last week? Like, I don't think there's a huge need from a watching perspective to see people on camera. And because of that really frees it up to be more open and more easier accessible. Perfect. That's exactly what I was thinking of.
Okay.
Well, that's
chill out. Good content doesn't need video.
Podcasts aren't video.
Yeah. And I mean, with you moving tokens around on the map so people can see what's going on with the map view, that takes care of half of it right there anyhow. You don't necessarily need somebody on camera if they can see that their token is being moved around monster A.
Yeah.
What I was thinking.
Yeah, those in career mode should be on camera. I agree and I go back and forth, because I'll do the devil's advocate. Like, I think showcase, all-star games, Super Bowls, those should be on camera. Like, if we can, if the team could do it. But this is also something that the community itself is really going to drive. Period. If we get lots of people who are very comfortable on mics and not very many teams that can get everybody on camera, that's just the way it's going to be. And we should let the community decide that for us, right? If a team comes forward, it's like, hey, we want to be on camera, we want to dress up. We're here for you, yeah, and we're going to do it up.
So yeah, I like that idea. Give the accessibility. We want to play, but we don't have cameras or don't want to be on camera. Okay, fine.
I mean, I'm absolutely right. I'm right there with Chris and Balfrin. I will drag my teammates to cameras. I'll kill them myself.
Somehow I can see that. And Plaid Weasel, next time you'll be able to watch.
Yeah. Well, Plaid Weasel's playing next time. Plaid Weasel didn't watch because he's on the team. Yeah.
That's why I said it that way.
You'll be able to watch. Okay. Let's see. So campaign mode sounds good. I love the idea of it becoming a career mode. That is also going to be determined by maybe that's the next thing we do. Maybe we do. All right. So let's talk our schedule then. Let's talk what's going on. So next Thursday, a week from Thursday, is the second Anaheim game. If 2 weeks after that, let me pop open a calendar here. Be smart. And then we can. Anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's get the calendar. And then we think, do we do this once a week?
Right.
Do we move off a Thursday and do this like once a week? Do we have enough people? That's another thing the community will decide. If we have more teams that want to play.
As we get more interest generated, then we'll have to increase the frequency of doing these.
So Thursday the 28th will be the last Thursday in January, and then we got February Is that for 11th will be the next one, Feb 11th. So Feb 11th is your team. THACO.
Yep. And so far I've got 2 people who look like they're interested. I'll be throwing the word out to see if I can get 1 or 2 more.
Okay. I mean, you do have an experienced Xcrawl player in-house.
Yep, I'm going to talk to her. I'm going to talk to everybody in the Dirt crew and see if anybody wants to do it.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I thought that'd be cool. Okay, so part of me was like, okay, you know what? If we've got the next 2 Xcrawl lives taken care of, do we wait and see if another team materializes that wants to become a 4th in Anaheim? Let's actually, you know what? Let's do this. Let's plan out what after your game. Let's plan out what the next thing is going to be. Keeping our ears open though, that if we see any kind of, because the new channels that we just discussed are going to get into Discord probably in the next week or so, right? So we might see more activity from people wanting to join up in teams. So we might extend. I could see us extending Anaheim just a little bit longer if we have the teams. If not, we've already got a next phase planned. And then, you know what I mean?
Yep. I was thinking, you did Anaheim. I was working on Brooklyn. Do we want to do something a little bit higher tier?
That, or do we want the next one be or we suggest to the community the beginning of a career and do a funnel? A couple funnels depending on how many teams want to start careers.
Yeah, we could. I like that. Actually, let's block that in. A couple of funnels for career teams. Because
I know for a fact that the Coalition of Chaos, these guys, and one of the pretty much leader of the teams in chat right now, they're all like gung ho. Because I already mentioned a campaign kind of mode to them, so I know I'd have at least one.
Right. No, let's block that in. We'll do a couple of funnels for career mode if nothing else pops up. Because...
Be 25th. Be 25th of February.
Yes.
Career mode. Now I'll talk to Brendan to see if I think there's only one funnel, but he might have another funnel. It'd be great to have another funnel that isn't Please Xcrawl Don't Hurt 'Em. But the cool thing about Please Xcrawl Don't Hurt 'Em is both of us know it. You know, you want to run it, then you know what I mean. It's like it's not going to be that hard to put it together.
The only problem being is people have seen it, so there's not much in the way of surprises.
True. You know, we have game designers, we have adventure writers in the audience, man. It'd be really awesome, and us maybe put together an original funnel.
And that is, you know, you and I just chatted about it a little while ago. That is something that I'm going to be putting my head down for real quick here. Is I want to create an Xcrawl funnel for everybody.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. That's another thing I'll put out to the community. Those of you that write adventures, we'd love to feature them on Xcrawl Live.
Yeah, I figured you would. All the RPGs, I figured you would.
King Mob, I have a new funnel and level 1 Xcrawl I'm making with Brandon.
Nice.
Brendan. Awesome.
That's pretty slick. I'm interested to see how that one turns out.
Well, let us know, because like I just said, we are looking for showcasing. I still have a Brendan LaSalle original that he's only played at conventions that I haven't pulled out. That's a little higher level. I just been waiting on that one.
I love the name Massacre Square Garden. But I'm going to piggyback off of what you said there. Showcasing. If you guys have stuff that you guys want and that you guys want to see if it can make its way into Xcrawl, shoot it by us. We'll run over it, give some thoughts on it, see if it's something that we can showcase and actually play. So if you've got a creation, feel free. Excuse me.
You're not the boss of me. You're not the boss of me, Bofford. If I want to pull things out, I'll pull it out. This is
Take a look at his hair.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a PG-13 show. Oh, we got through. I think we got through Anaheim, the first one, without one F-bomb being. No, not my bad. Azam threw an F-bomb out at the end, right at the end of the show, in the last like 20 minutes.
Done.
Yeah.
Very well done. Don't do it. Think of the kids.
Well, family show. All right, so
we'll
let's
have to make it. We'll have to make a new DJ Pineapple.
That's a great idea. I thought of an idea for an Xcrawl myself. I'm like, oh man, it's just, you know what's daunting is writing all the words. Like coming up with the adventure is great, but then going, okay, now I got to write all this for publication. Writing it out for myself to run it is one thing. Writing it out for publication is way different. It's a much bigger commitment. DJ Pineapple would be pretty awesome. Like it's got to be, it's all got to be safe things and.
Well, can you imagine running a funnel specifically made by DJ Pineapple?
That's what. Yes.
It'd be styrofoam and rubber balls all day long.
Nobody can get killed, but you're bouncing around a lot and. That'd be awesome. A lot of clown noise. I'm imagining a lot of clown noises.
Oh gosh, yes. Squeaky toys and everything.
Okay, so let's plan this. At least let's try to get at least 2 teams that are going to want to do a career mode.
Okay.
And what that means is we'll run a funnel, at least 2 episodes of one funnel. For 2 teams. So, one team will go through with their 16 characters, 4 each. Another team would be able to go do it. So that's February 25th, and it's and the next, which is 25th and
March
the 11th.
Or something.
The 11th of March. March 11th.
Okay.
And so, I mean, that's our next 4 games, which is, takes us all
2 months.
to March.
Yep. And we can be...
A kitty crawl.
We and the community can toss out feelers to get people interested in playing the Xcrawl.
Oh, man, what if it was all in a big, has a ball pit? Imagine, like, a crazy McDonald's Playland funnel.
Yes.
Right, and all the creatures have like foam swords or stuff over their swords.
Yep.
This big ball pit you can get trapped in. We could hit the Gary Con server to recruit for this as well. That just started up too. I know because I joined it the other day. The Gary Con.
Yep.
Yeah, they just started it up. You're putting together stuff for Gary Con, right, THACO?
I'm currently converting Living Greyhawk Grand March into the Rushmores into 5th edition Roll20. So.
Oh, we need.
Yeah. I'm working on it.
You know what? Do we want to? Okay, let me ask you this, THACO. Let's figure out when's Cyclops Con. Cyclops Con is one of or it's not just it's like son of Cyclops Con. It's Goodman Games' next convention. The question's going to be, do we want to run a special Xcrawl live? A lot of these guys, the guys that ran the Coalition of Chaos and came and played Please Xcrawl Don't Hurt Them on my channel, they found us because we did that one Saturday show during the con. Remember when we did for our first game? They found us because of that game, so it works.
Right.
Spawn of Cyclops comes February 26th to the 28th, which is actually we had already We're going to be running the 25th. Okay, and that was going to be one of our career games. We wouldn't want to do a career game. We want to do a special tournament game, right?
Right. You'd end up doing an exhibition game there.
Right.
And Cthulhu, thank you. I'm happy to hear that you found us through that and started watching the stream.
Yep.
I am so jealous of you.
Nice.
15 an hour away from Gary Con. I am jealous.
I wish I was 5 hours. I'm 5 hours away from Gen Con, and I'm pretty happy about that because it's not that bad of a drive by yourself.
I live way too far north in Minnesota. There's nothing fun. Less than like a 12, 13 hour drive from me.
So, yeah, I think we should plan on doing something that weekend. Do you offhand know anything that's going on for you for February that weekend?
I got nothing going on that weekend, the 25th. Let me double check one thing. So if you put the .com on there.
You're running Massacre, okay. At Spawn? Right on. Ooh.
I just gotta check my game calendar.
Well, hey, King Mob, like, let us know if after that you want to, well, I'll tell you what, man, let us know if we're talking about our career mode and how we'd like to kick it off with a funnel, and preferably a funnel that we haven't run, because we've run the only one we've run so far is Please Xcrawl Don't Hurt 'Em, which, by the way, is featured in. There's two with the book. The cool thing about the Xcrawl Classics book is it comes with 2 adventures in it, 2 great adventures. One of them being Please Xcrawl Don't Hurt 'Em, the funnel that you guys have seen. We've played it on my channel, and we've played it here. But we'd like to do a new one. So King Mob, why don't you hit us up on Discord? I'm the Liching Hour on Discord, and this is DM THACO. If you be down, we'd run, and we could talk to Brendan too. We'd run that as our first career run, our first career funnel. That would be what did we say? February 25th and March 11th.
The weekend of the 25th, the weekend of the con, I have one of my off Saturdays, so I'd be free.
Well, what if we do this? Then what if we did 2, where you run one Saturday because you're off, and I run one Friday? That way we could do a two game tournament. Feature that for the con. But like we're gonna run a mini tournament. Who wants to sign up from the con? And yeah. Let's see. So
I'm down for that. We'll just have to figure out which one we want to run and
be a busy weekend.
Put down some pre-gens.
Yes. Yep. Feb 26th. That's Feb. So you would be Feb 27th. We'd run the same one, both of us, right? And then
I would take the 27th in a heartbeat.
And then why don't we just run one that we Massacre's level 1? Oh, okay, all right. Well, what about your funnel? How far along is your funnel? Plaid Weasel, by the way, there is a script for an Xcrawl movie. Brendan's been working on trying to get an Xcrawl movie made for quite a while.
That would be fun. We'll see if we can get our Cyclops and DJ Rust in them.
Funnel's coming out for March. Okay. What I was going to say is, what if for that we run something we already know? Did I already say that? You responded to that?
Yep.
We run something we already know?
Yep.
Like, we could run Dungeon Battle Brooklyn since we didn't really get the chance to finish it. It's not.
We could run Brooklyn. It's a level 1, so it wouldn't be too difficult on the players.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So I like that idea.
Right. Me too.
Shoot. I'm going to step away from the computer, but I still...
Oh, shit. Snap. You know what? We could run Anaheim, too, because it could be the fourth and fifth game, and they could see what their scores are based on 3 other teams that had already done it.
Oh, that's not bad, because then you can create that slight competitive feel to it.
Yeah, so it'd be like, oh, hey, you guys, so we've ran this tournament, the last month, and to see how you stack up, we're going to put your team in the Discord in the league thing, and you'll see how you kind of stacked up score-wise with the other teams. I think that's pretty cool. And we've got scoring for it.
Cross-promotion.
Yeah, and we've got the... Because these 2 games are going to be for people, hopefully these are brand new people that are signing up through the con. Not to say people that have already played it couldn't come and do that, looking at you, chat, but preferably...
We get one or two new people to jump in and play in a seat, and we're going to get viewers that are not normal. They'll see what's going on, too.
Yeah, we'll have to see if... I don't know. I'll talk to the gentleman at Goodman Games to see if we can't do it on here, but we might be running them on our own, too, depending on what's going on.
You could, what's the word I'm looking for? Multi-stream it.
True. Funnel was for March. Yeah.
I wonder how. I've been doing a little bit of research into the multi-streaming, so.
Okay.
Hopefully I can get that squared away and figured out.
When you say multi-streaming, you mean you would be here on Goodman Games and on your own channel?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
And being able to participate in both chats simultaneously.
No, that's crazy. You really want to have to worry about 2 chats? That seems like masochism, man. Masochism.
Go big or go home.
Oh, I think you no. Oh, there you are. You froze up for a second there.
Yeah, I'm hearing from you. I'm hearing some digitization in the voice, so I'm wondering what's going on there.
Let's see. My bit rate's going good. It must be Discord.
Yeah.
And we could have did this as Zoom. I wasn't thinking. It was really easy to just do it in Discord.
It is what it is. And complete side thought here. I think this specific format, Xcrawl CHAT, I think this would be something fun to do every so often too, just to sit here and chit chat with the community and talk about different things that are happening.
Yeah. Absolutely. I'm all about it.
Probably do it on a different night because we both usually have Saturdays going.
Yeah, Saturdays are typically kind of a busy night for both of us.
So, you guys have been listening to the Lich and myself ramble on about all this good stuff. Do you guys have any thoughts, any questions, anything about this Xcrawl stuff that you're not aware of? For example, Loxy was asking me on the Ditdirt channel, how do you sign up? Well, we're creating that Discord channel, so you'll be able to sign up there. How big are the teams? 4 or 5 players? Any less than 4, and you're pretty much guaranteed a TPK. Anything more than that, and it tends to be a bit arduous, and the turn times and whatnot take for freaking ever.
I was thinking we'd standardize what a team is. We'd standardize it because then that makes it fair across the board. It's got to be 4. I was thinking we just say a team is 4. That way, if we could do special events where this is a tournament and the team size is 5. You know what I mean? But
yep.
I think across the board it would be a better idea just to have a base 4 on the floor.
So, flat 4 works just fine. Plaid Weasel, what character do you have? He's wondering about a signature move.
Going on Discord. Oh yeah, signature move. Oh yeah. What a good one is. What was somebody had a really great one Thursday. I did. I did. I gave everybody a pre-gen, and you should have one too, Chris. Didn't you? Yeah, I gave you one for the messenger. Yep. Messenger.
Rapier microphone stand. I like that. That's fun.
Yeah, the Zev, the jammer. That was his special move, signature move.
I love that. That's awesome.
I still like bets. I wanna play bets again. The summon the insects and have them come out of my mouth, so I do a blow a kiss.
Oh man, that messed up my monsters so bad.
Yeah. That was fun. Okay, so
we'll have to bring them out. I'm gonna come up with a new character, and I'm going to make that my staple character, so that I, like your bets, I want to have someone that whenever I come back, I will play as that one, and people will know it.
That's cool. Yeah. Oh, we also, if you guys got any questions about the system, I don't see why I couldn't answer them as well, Leather Boys.
Yeah.
So if you guys got any questions, fire away.
As much as it is him and me shooting back and forth and tossing ideas out, if you guys have anything about this Xcrawl stuff, anything at all, please let us know.
And then I have, where is it? Right here. One thing I wanted to do, I thought it would be fun to do tonight, is I want to... All right, so I'm probably not going to be making commercials for every game this time around, but I do want to start adding new commercials. We've got one for... We've got two for... Well, we've got three, but I'd like to make some more. And I thought what might be fun is I'll list off a bunch of the different companies that we could do spots for and have chat decide which one sounds cool to do a new commercial for. And then we'll go all out and make a cool commercial for them. So there's a doc, a player guide that Brendan had wrote up a while back called Sellout. That's it's like a player's guide kind of thing. It's a player's handbook, yeah. But it's also has a whole bunch of shit on the world, including like 100 companies, fictional companies that he made up from A to Z. Literally 82 of them. Random corporate sponsors. No, I'm sorry. Not 82. 100. Too bad you can't roll in chat. You should have somebody roll up a 1D100. Oh, that's what I'll do. I'll roll 5 D100s, and then out of those 5, we'll all pick one that sounded like a cool one to sponsor to do a commercial for.
So, Plaid Weasel, playing a half-orc slayer with a two-handed sword as your weapon, you could easily base your signature move off of your background and tie it into that. For example, I didn't do very well with Lucky Luke, but one of the ideas that I was working with is his background was was dealing in the retail with clothing merchandise. So I had this thought after the game, but his signature move being tailor's tape that actually doubled as a garrote. Let me measure how much time you have left as he garrotes them.
Nice.
Yeah, nice. I had that thought after the game. I'm like, man, that would have been so much cooler.
All right. First up is 25. 25 is Duke Elliott's Fine Blended Tobacco.
Oh, someone's a little bit posh.
Yeah, so Duke Elliott's Fine Blended Tobacco. Headquarters is in Richmond, Virginia. Manufacturers of not only tobacco products, but also a major player in the trading card industry. Duke Elliott's has started a line of Xcrawl Superstar trading cards. The premier set includes a prized Jose Villalobos autographed chase card. So that's actually a pretty cool option.
Yeah.
For a commercial, right?
I like that. So, another question for you guys out there in chat while he's looking at some of these. We like to make it so that 4 bits chat can do certain things to affect the game. We don't want them to be huge. We want them to have a simple effect on the game. Are there ideas that you guys have out there that might work for that? For example, in one game, we had you could trade bits in for fame. Another one, you could trade bits in for a 1d3 healing potion.
That's a great point. Yeah. You know, I took the bits.
Things like that.
I took the bits out of the tournament.
Okay.
So that, you know, because I thought a lot about it. I was like, oh, do I allow bits to fill up mojo? Do I allow bits? But the thing is, like, if one team, somebody comes in, is like very generous and keeps filling up their mojo, but the next team, they don't, that affects the score. So I decided for this Anaheim tournament, I was like, okay, I'm just not going to do it. And so there's no audience interaction, unfortunately, but I don't know. I can't think of how to keep it fair. You know what I mean?
Right. So that's kind of why I'm tossing it out there to see if there might be some brain matter.
Mm-hmm. No, that said, I would love to hear any thoughts on that whole topic, because there's no reason why the career games should have audience interaction, I think. Because then they're supporting their, you know what I mean? That could be the result of building your fan base, right?
Yep.
If you're getting help from the crowd. So I think that should be a big component.
Plaid Weasel promoting the sponsors is one of the things that we want to start to integrate into the games, because those sponsors for the career teams, those sponsors can make or break how well they do outside of the dungeon itself. So that is something that could be that is something that could be very well played into while you guys are doing the crawls. I did something like that, King Mob, where you could give somebody, where the sponsor gave them a bonus to their grandstanding rolls. So using bits to increase the grandstanding roll by a +1 or +2. Because it still leaves it up to random chance.
So the second roll was 70, and it's Plastic Southeast, headquarters in Savannah, Georgia. They're a plastic manufacturer. Leading manufacturer of plastics, Plastic Southeast is the largest supplier of shielding to keep the crowd safe during a crawl. They often supply the materials in exchange for promotion during the event. Okay.
Anybody who watched Brooklyn, there was that plexiglass that guarded all of the spectators. It was given to us by that company.
$87. Tempest Timepieces.
What do you mean by obstacles, Plaid Weasel? Ooh, I like Call of Cthulhu's. Rather than Mojo, doing a protection from losing Mojo on a Nat 1.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they felt it pretty bad because they were doing really good. I'm giving you all a starting pool of Mojo 5 each, because you're not getting any from the crowd. So once it's gone, it's gone. And they were rocking, some of them had 6 or 7 Mojo, and then they got that one roll. And then it was no more Mojo for the rest of the game until they had to do their class things, you know. The only way they could get Mojo is rolling a Nat 20 or doing their class things. So only one, the gnome kept getting 1, would have 1. Oh, and the grandstand DC for the Anaheim is 20.
That is a big one.
All right, so third sponsor. Go ahead.
It's Anaheim. I can see that. Their crowds are pretty rough.
Yeah. A third sponsor is Tempest Timepieces out of Toronto, Ontario. The luxurious watch company, a Tempest Timepiece, is a watch designed to last a lifetime. It's high fashion, not high impact, and makes a statement at any gathering. The company executives love the idea of mixing the raw primal quality of the games with the refined quality of their watches.
So it's like Rolex and Timex mixed into one.
Yeah, exactly.
I think if that was an option, adding obstacles, it would need to be fleshed out significantly more, because that can really, really disable a team if it's done wrong.
So sometimes
That would work.
what you're getting at, Plaid Weasel, is actually something we did in our very first one. Because the adventure itself lended it to us. Like the DJ in that adventure, it was actually written that she had 6 extra zombies that she could, at her disposal, to throw in to mess with the team at any time. So we integrated that in. We're like, okay, you know what? 50 bits, we'll send in a zombie. And that worked out great, to your point about throwing in extra obstacles and monsters and stuff.
Yep. In that case, when it's written in, it works out well. But
Yeah.
throwing them in where it's not part of the crawl, I don't think would work so well.
Yeah.
The crawl crowd DC, that might not be a bad one, reducing the grandstanding roll by a 1 or 2.
Yeah. I liked giving them, whenever they do a grandstanding roll and made it, giving bits to make it more than just to up it by 1. So they made their grandstanding roll. Anybody want? I liked when we were doing that. Anybody want to give 5 bits to make it 2? That's really going to come into play in the career games. But that said, the tournaments, you get extra points in the Anaheim one for your your temporary fame that you earn. So they were grandstanding to get points too.
Okay. Actually, Plaid Weasel, that's a really neat idea. Each person who's a DJ, and I'm gonna modify it slightly, Plaid Weasel.
Yeah.
Each DJ has one
That's cool.
bit command that is specific to them as a DJ.
That's cool. It's a weird. We're almost not DJs. It's a weird thing though, because there's the DJs in the adventure, and then there's us. It's almost like we're not DJs. Like, do we? This is a weird conversation. That'll explode my head. But do we make? Are we something else? You know what I mean? Like, we're technically not dungeon judges, because the cool thing about these adventures, and the people who write the adventures, I'm sure Mob can say it too, is that oh hey, thank you Vulcan Fire God, you're awesome too. Thank you very much. The DJs, they give a lot of attention. They create these DJs, like DJ Hat Trick that you're going to meet in the Anaheim crawl, THACO, is a pretty crazy character. And they make those, coaches. Coaches. It's not a bad idea.
Or could we be the crawl host?
Oh, the hosts. That host is nice too. Host.
Because coaches gives the feel that we're there helping the team along, and we're not so much helping them along as we are presenting them with the dungeon and what's going on.
Right.
I think host might be a little bit better term.
Yeah, I think so too. I like it a lot. And then because then, to Brendan's point, when I was talking to him about the distinction between the two, he's like, well, the DJ kind of gives you the allowance to do, it's the DJ that's doing this, not me. to you. They're deciding to send in the 6 zombies, not me.
Right. It's that my hands are clean thing.
Right. All right, so the 4th roll was 29. It's the Electric Services of the Empire, based out of Bismarck, Dakota. The only national chain of electrician services, ES of E, does everything from coming to a house to replace a light bulb to rewiring an entire apartment complex. I love how we made all these companies, and they're like, that one doesn't even have much to do with the games at all. It'd be fun.
I know, right?
All right, my last roll, and then I'll put up a poll. 94.
Well, I hope you were writing those down, because I didn't.
Oh, I got them all.
Okay.
Yeah. Walker's Wood formal wear. Ooh. Walker's Wood formal wear. Headquarters, Texas, Houston, Texas. The place to go for your wedding or prom, Walker's Wood provides not only tuxedos for the men, but also gowns and dresses for the women. They have a popular series of ads depicting popular crawlers in their formal wear, looking totally out of place, but very well dressed. That could be a fun commercial.
Yeah, good.
I think I know which one's my pick, though. We'll see. Right? So your host tonight is DJ Rust, or now we're not DJs though. We're host Rust, host Cyclops.
Yep. I like that. Because it still gives us the ability to be separate from what's going on.
Right.
Duck and cover, right? And Shinobi, the idea of heals, again, that kind of puts it into the spectrum of if one team has a stronger following, they might get more heals than the other teams. So we're trying to find something that'll be a little bit on the balance side. But I do like the idea nonetheless. It's something that will have to be talked about and see if it's a balancing issue. Because I believe 1d3 is the most common basic healing potion, and I don't think that's going to change it too much. If you can get a quick 1d3 heal in the green room. The biggest thing here with all of these bit ideas is we're trying to make sure it stays balanced for the teams that do get it and the teams that don't. Is it really going to affect the game greatly if they don't get it compared to a team that does?
Yeah. I think even like anything we've done before with doing the mojo and fame for the tournaments, that would things that are designated as score, unless we. No, I was going to say make up some kind of scoring thing for the crowd, but that's still... Because you could have a buddy come in that spends a bunch of bits to help you out, and then the next team doesn't have anybody in there, you know?
Yeah,
it's too easy to manipulate.
Like when Double Dane came in and tossed 1,000 bits at us. That really changed the game.
Yes, it did. Yeah. All right, so I'm putting up a poll of sponsors. If you guys pick one of these, we will make a new commercial for them. What I'd like to do is I'd just like to have the breaks be a bunch of commercials from this world for these products. We already have a few. We'd like to add more, but I can't do one every week. Not yet, at least.
Right.
So here we go. I'm gonna start the poll. Got 5 minutes. And if you don't remember which one is what, just ask up in chat and I'll read it out again. Yeah, I really like making them. My background's advertising, and so I can make them, and they're really fun to make. So I like this because then I can feel like, okay, I can spend some time and make this one, you know.
And once I finally get a better setup, I can start playing around with it too, because it's, you know, I went to school for multimedia arts and animation, so it's not my wheelhouse, but it's definitely tangential.
Well, I think we should definitely work together no matter what. See if, because you might be able to, better ideas come out of collaboration. You know what I mean? Write up a script and stuff.
I just meant on the actual creation side of it.
Yeah.
You know, get the cameras and all that set up.
For sure. Your lighting's a lot better, I'll tell you that.
I also found out that I needed to go into some of the settings, and I cleaned up the sharpness and all that good stuff. I started to really mess around with the camera functionality.
Yeah.
Something that we talked about was creating our own Xcrawls. I know we brought that up a little bit.
Oh, Weasel, well, is it? Let's look at TOS. I'm sorry, THACO, what were you saying?
I hadn't thought about that too, so I was reading about it, and I'm like, you know, that's not a bad point. That is something that we are going to start doing as we go forward here, is we are going to start making our own Xcrawls. at different tiers, so you will start seeing you'll start seeing more than just Brendan's stuff out there as we continue going forward.
Yeah. But ultimately, we do want to keep in mind this is ultimately this show itself. We are good brand stewards. We are showcasing Goodman Games stuff. This is a Goodman Games show. We want to promote Xcrawl Classics, and the products that they have and they sell for sure.
And as soon as they come out with a new dungeon for us to run, and we have the green light to run it, you are going to see it here, air quotes, first.
Yeah, I mean, you're probably right. The tobacco's probably, but I mean, knowing that, I could, no, probably. Yeah, that was from a different time, wasn't it? All right, you know what? I'm gonna find a different one, so we at least have 5 valid options. 47. I mean, there's 100 of them, so 47 is King's Iron Golf Supplies.
Goodness.
Yeah. Out of Orlando, Georgia, King's Iron Golf Supplies. Try swinging with a king. Considered by many the standard in the golf world, King's Iron is a new entry into the Xcrawl sponsorship arena. The recent popularity of golf has led to the company trying their hand, but they are cautious and somewhat on the low end of the pay scale. Okay.
I think you're a bit biased there, King Mob. And Glork law offices.
Candy cigarettes. I know the problem with the tobacco thing is like you're not allowed to do commercials for tobacco in real life. It's like, but
where do you draw that line?
Replace if you vote for cigarettes, you're voting for King's Iron golf supplies.
God, I love that. I think King Mob found your pitch.
What's that?
When I'm clubbing zombies, I make it a king.
That's awesome. Totally.
That's a heck of a pitch right there.
There's a lot of crazy companies in here, man.
It just goes to show you, he's put a lot of effort into this. Mm-hmm. I'm really happy that we're on the forefront of it.
Yeah, me too. Tee off in style.
Biased, King Mob.
Tee off in style, and it's like got a zombie head on the grass. Poll ended. We are going with King's Iron Golf Supplies. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
All right. So that should be the newest commercial you'll see coming up in the very near future.
Iron Golf Supplies. Yep.
Any other questions, any other comments or concerns or whatnot from you guys out there in chats? I'm going to have to find... I've got my brain going now about creating a team coming up. Don't go to battle alone. Wield the King's Iron.
Wield the King's Iron. Dang, guys. I'm copying all this.
I know, right?
To keep it in mind.
You're coming up with some good stuff.
Yeah. That's good stuff. And I want that tee off with a... Where's that? Oh, there you go.
Where did it go?
When I'm clubbing zombies, I make it a king. Good ideas. THACO. So I have a subscription to Epidemic Sound, It's a fantastic repository for royalty-free music. The music is all original. They have every genre you could imagine, every sound effect you can imagine. It's $15 a month. I convinced, and they okay. So what's cool about it is they white label your YouTube, Twitch, all your social channels, so that you don't get pegged, right?
Right.
So I'm able to do background music for all my shows and put all this music and sound effects into the spots and not worry about, people finding it on YouTube or, getting dinged on YouTube or Twitch, right?
Right.
I haven't been able to do that on Goodman Games because they don't have it. They didn't have it. I sold them on it. Now Goodman Games has a subscription as well. So that's why I'm able to do music tonight if they can hear it. The reason I'm telling you this is because we'll be able to have music for our games, and maybe if you want to look into it, you'd be able to do, because then you'd be actually no. I'll talk to you after this because my bad. I'll figure it out. You'll be able to do it on here too, because of Goodman Games is going to be able to allow you to do it on here as well. So when you do your games and you host, you'll be able to play music and stuff.
I use Sirenscape for a lot of my stuff, but I still get dinged on YouTube, so it might be much nicer using that software instead.
Okay. All right. I think we nailed some cool stuff. We got some cool stuff tonight. So we've got the basis for foundation for the channels in the Goodman Games Discord to hopefully get things going. We've got the next 4 Xcrawl Live Thursday night games figured out. We don't know what the funnel is yet, but that's okay. We've got about a month to figure that out. And then we've got our eyes on the spawn of Cyclops Con doing the Anaheim crawl. Me on Friday, you on Saturday.
Yep.
They got the sign-ups are up, so I'm going to reach out, though, from my end and see if there's any official slots on the channel that we can do for that and have it up, and maybe that might be a different sign-up kind of process. So that's cool. We've got a sponsor we're going to make a thing for it, and yeah. So everybody in chat, please keep in mind, those of you that want to play, we're going to be putting up in our Discords. You can talk to us directly, talk to us in our Discords, or go to the Goodman Games Discord and talk to us. But those of you who want to participate in a career game after these next 2 games, there's going to be one the 28th, and then one February 11th will be the end of the Anaheim stuff. If you have a team of 4 that want to play in the Anaheim tournament, we will extend the tournament a little bit, and you can play. Or if you have a team that would like to start a career in Xcrawl in this world, we'll be starting that February 25th. And then we'll be listing this stuff out in the new Discord channels that are created in Goodman Games. You'll see all this.
I'm almost always on Discord, so if you need to DM me for any reason, feel free. I will respond rather shortly. Usually I think within 20 minutes.
King Mob, you're saying they're looking for chat events like this? Is that what you mean? Make your foes into butter. Will the King Irons... I'm going to copy that just because it's fun. I'm going to copy and paste it in my back because it's a good one. Oh, okay.
So an hour slot to sit down and chit-chat like this. That'd be kind of fun, too.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. Right on. So, other than that, if you guys got any questions about the rules, other than that, I think we're gonna call it. We were gonna do from 9 to 11 anyway, and we've pretty much filled that time up.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be heading over to all the RPGs to play some Gloomhaven for anybody who wants to come join me and Chris as we do our best to play some Gloomhaven digital. Hey, okay. On that topic, THACO, have you gotten into Jaws of the Lion much yet?
I We literally pulled out all of the tokens last week. We'll be playing we'll be starting it specifically within this week here, because there's going to be Loxy, my boy, and myself playing it.
Cool.
We just got the setup started.
It's the best dungeon crawl board game I've ever played. I've played maybe all of them, most of them. It's good. Just from a mechanic standpoint, it's an actual puzzle. It's an actual game. It's good.
I ended up with, which one did I end up with? The Red Guard.
Okay. I haven't played Judge of the Line because they have all different classes. I just played Gloomhaven and regular, so there's like completely different classes between the two, which is crazy.
It's looking to be a lot of fun, and like I said, we just got done with the setup, got all the tokens and whatnot set up, and laid everything out on the kitchen table, and we're just waiting to put the dice to the board now.
Right on.
I will keep you updated on that too, but I'm probably gonna like hover over to all the RPGs and see what it's like. Oh
yeah, for sure. The digital is incredibly well done. Very well done. Yeah, it is a Gloomhaven day when you sprawl it all out. It totally is. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining us on Xcrawl Chat. We're gonna make this a semi-regular thing. I think I don't see what
might be a good idea.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. Once a month at least, so we get everything kind of planned out. We get to see what you guys think is working, what's not working, what would get you guys excited, and what will get us excited, and we roll with that. Thanks so much for joining us. Yep. And you all have a great evening. Like I said, if you want to join us at all the RPG, actually, I'm gonna put it hold on. I'll put a link because we can't raid because I don't have that kind of control, unfortunately. But this is Chris from Two Old Guy Games. He and I do a show called Swashbucklers on this channel every other Thursday from Xcrawl. It's Pirates in DCC. That's going to be this coming Thursday. If you want to come check it out, we just started. We're in the middle of a funnel, figuring out our characters. But it's been a lot of fun. And you guys all have a great time. If anything you want to plug there, THACO?
I mean, the only thing, if you guys are interested in some D&D content, check me out on Dragons in the Dining Room. Otherwise, we will see you back here very shortly with some new Xcrawl content.
Hey, King Mob, I'm the Lich Hour on Discord. If you hit me up, I'll get you an invite to my Discord too, so we could chat. And DM THACO is all, once you put your Discord in there, or your Discord name, or at least your name on Discord.
Yep. You can find me as DM THACO.
All right. You guys have a great night.
Have a wonderful night.
Yep. Catch you next week or in a couple weeks.